Cowboys AP tone. Jalen Ramsey might be on the move from the Miami Dolphins. Do they have enough people to field a team down there? And obviously the draft is next week. Okay, we got WrestleMania this weekend. Cannot wait to get to Las Vegas. Then the draft is next week in Green Bay, Wisconsin. This is when a lot of movement kind of takes place. Jalen Ramsey allegedly on his way out of the Miami Dolphins. Shedeur Sanders is doing another workout for the New York Giants this week. The Saints now need a quarterback. Feels like there's a lot of things brewing in the football world, Tone.
Yeah, a ton, and things don't seem to be great down in Miami. I saw a tweet where if they were to trade Jalen Ramsey, I believe 4 draft picks before the draft, they would only have $7 million in cap space, and that's about what they need to have for their draft pick, so then they wouldn't be able to sign anyone else. And as Gump knows, there's a lot of positions they still need to sign this offseason, so things aren't going great down in Miami. But like as far as the draft's concerned, and you talked about Shedeur,
Jalen's a hell of a player that we need to make sure everybody understands. Yes,
great player, top 5 corner still in the prime of his career. Can play. We had the slot defender conversation yesterday. Can play outside, can play inside, can blitz, can cover, can tackle, can do absolutely everything at a high level at the cornerback position.
$21 million with what we're seeing everybody else get paid at the current rate. Not bad for a team to pick up.
Yeah, he just got a bump last year, right? To make
he went back to the table. It's Chris Greer masterclass all over again.
What do you mean?
Beautiful. There's no vision. The guy got no idea what he's doing. Paid this guy last year. You're going to trade him and then still have the dead cap. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
We don't have any safeties. We have 2 cornerbacks, maybe 1 defensive tackle. Armstead, Campbell, Ramsey gone. All 3 of our leaders. We are cooked, folks.
Oh, no.
I'm close.
Don't do it,
I'm
Gus.
close to getting the NFL hat.
off
I'm just going to be a fan of the league. I'm close.
No, you can't be Rob Lowe. Is that who it was? Rob Lowe has the NFL hat. You can't do that. You've been a Dolphins fan through the thick of this entire thing and the thin of this entire thing. So what? You're another year of probably not going to win it all. You know, at least.
We'll be lucky not to finish last in the East.
Yeah, but if you finish last, you know what that brings? Draft season.
Exactly. Good draft.
Draft season gets real exciting.
You know what they say, you can't win the offseason. I will never forget that offseason we got Tyreek. I mean, that might have been the best time of my life as a Dolphins fan. We did win the offseason.
Well, and how's that going, obviously, now?
But, it was fun for a year or two. Like, this sucks.
Tyreek just went back to the table, too, last year.
Who knows
he got a
who's
bump.
gonna be there.
And if I had to make a bet today on April 15th, I don't think Tyreek or Jalen Ramsey starts the season.
So who are you guys playing down there? Is this replacement football? You got Keanu Reeves and the boys?
We can't even pay our draft picks. We can't field the team. We got no O-line. We'll never forget that.
Got our franchise quarterback.
Do we?
Do like a Vince Papale.
Yeah,
hey, this is Miami. I mean, you know how many superstar athletes are down there just waiting for an opportunity. Like, if Mike McDaniel, he's the coolest guy in the South. You just have him kind of get some Joe off the street. I bet Mike McDaniel can draw something
league
up.
man.
That's what I'm saying.
A couple UFL guys, maybe.
Big weekend, over 1 million people.
Whoa.
Who made that? Who made? Was that you? That was rude.
Yeah,
You see destroying hit from 50-something?
Yeah.
Big time kick. Love that.
He could probably play out. He could do the Tyreek Hill role.
For the Miami Dolphins?
Yeah.
It is interesting what Miami's doing down there. You said you can't win a Super Bowl in the offseason. You can't win in the offseason. Feels like the Dolphins have certainly lost this offseason. You know, I don't know if anybody else has got it worse than Miami, but keep on trucking down there.
Right.
You guys got great beach, great restaurants.
Super nice.
The weather's awesome. Great UFC
stadium.
event.
Yeah.
Jalen Waddle, great player. Love Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, cool dance. He needs to keep doing that.
Love Waddle.
Tyreek's his mentor. So
Okay, so let's get away from the Miami Dolphins situation. Hopefully, they're able to figure it out down there. And to the Finn fam, no, we're pulling for you. Yeah. Okay, we are pulling for you. But draft conversation has heated up because the Saints now potentially needing a quarterback with Derek Carr's shoulder injury and potentially being out for an entire season.
Yep.
What the hell happened to him? What was it? How did he get hurt? Maybe this is why the Raiders were like, we're not letting you in our building. We don't know what's going to happen. Okay, we can't have any injuries take place. I'm excited to learn. What was he wakeboarding? Like what? How do you hurt your shoulder so bad you're going to miss an entire season? ahead of time, and nobody even knows it's going to take place. Godspeed for him on his recovery. The New Orleans Saints, are they in the market for a veteran quarterback? Are they in the market for maybe Aaron Rodgers? Are they in the market for a rookie quarterback? Who would be the rookie quarterback? Well, odds are saying maybe Shedeur Sanders ends up down there. I think Shedeur would be awesome down there in the Bayou. Maybe Jackson Dart, obviously played in the SEC, knows Southern hospitality, even though he's a Utah guy who was originally out in California. That kind of throws a curveball into this entire draft process. Shedeur working out with the Giants, big deal, I think. There's reports now coming out that potentially the Giants front office are a little bit torn on what quarterback is the right quarterback to go with. Remember, the Giants were all in on every veteran quarterback that they could possibly be in. Allegedly, a $100 million offer to Matthew Stafford, fully guaranteed. Allegedly. Aaron Rodgers, they were fully in on Aaron Rodgers, allegedly. They bring in Jameis. They bring in Russell Wilson. Shane and Daboll understand the situation in New York, especially with last year's Hard Knocks offseason, with moving on from Saquon going on to do what he did. Daniel Jones is now on the Indianapolis Colts. So they understand that it is a pressure-packed moment. Will they go with a rookie quarterback while also having a very veteran-filled quarterback room, possibly to show him the way? Is it Shedeur? That's the convo happening this week, I guess.
Yeah, for the Giants, there's always levels to this thing. And, we talk about Daboll and Shane. Is this their last season to potentially secure a job for their future because they were potentially on the hot seat this offseason? And does drafting Shedeur help them with that this season if they're going to have Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston as their quarterback? And then, they're going for another workout, which they've already attended his showcase workout. They were at every single one of the Colorado games this year, whether it was that was for him or Travis Hunter. Or as a lot of people are speculating, is this the owner coming in and saying, like, I'm not worried about your guys' jobs next year. I want Shedeur because he's going to be our quarterback for the future. So there's levels to that. I don't know why there's going to be another private workout with Shedeur. And then, a couple weeks ago, Kuiper actually mocked Jackson Dart to the Saints. Now, Shedeur is the favorite, odds-on favorite to go to the Saints right now, plus 125, I think plus 330 for the Giants, somewhere around there. But so the Saints were potentially looking at a quarterback already because of the Carr situation, not his injury, but just they weren't going to move forward with him as their future quarterback. But now that this has happened, it's definitely like put a accelerant on this situation for their quarterback. Now a lot of people are thinking it's Dart. A lot of people are thinking if Shedeur Sanders gets by 3, it's definitely going to be the Saints for Shedeur. So as far as that situation goes, it's everything. All we know is Cam Ward's going 1.
That's it.
Yeah.
Full chaos.
Yeah.
Next Thursday night at the NFL Draft in Green Bay, Wisconsin, which
Great.
we will be at.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Shout out to the NFL folks.
Shout out.
Shout out to the, let's go shake their hand.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try to make a positive out of this entire thing, which we will always try to do in every situation, legitimately. There might be some times where it doesn't feel that way, but inevitably going to try to be an additive to everything. So we will be there. Full chaos is potentially looming for this NFL draft.
Yeah.
Because the Browns allegedly were only taking a quarterback. That was like months ago. Yeah. Browns are definitely taking a quarterback. Now they're not. Definitely taking a quarterback somehow. And then the Giants, well, if there's their quarterback available, or are they going to take the best player available in Travis Hunter? And then what happens with the Patriots pick? Is somebody going to want to trade up now because there's potentially quarterbacks ahead? This is the most amount of question marks I think we've had going into a draft since we've covered it, especially in the first 5-10 picks.
Yeah, definitely the order. Like, it feels like we know, like, Ward's going 1, but we know Ward, Hunter, and Carter are going in the top 4. Like, no matter what, they're not falling past New England. Because for New England, they're going to take Carter or they're going to take Hunter if they're there. If not, that's when, like,
what if they could trade?
That's when the trade back would come into place. Where, like, if the Saints, if Sanders is there at 4, who says the Saints or someone else now? Because of this Jackson Dart conversation, like someone in that mid-tier who maybe thought, like, oh, early on this guy's going to fall to us, but now all of a sudden, they don't know. And Abdul Carter, who's represented by Drew Rosenhaus, he has his final meeting today, and that's with the Patriots. And Rosenhaus told Carter, like, hey, we're only visiting the top 4 teams. We're not going past any of these other players or any of these other places. You're going to go in the top 4. So it really does depend, like, where are, the Browns and Giants at when it comes to the quarterback? quarterback because, we've referenced it a bunch of times. But the other thing, and this was before we even knew Cam Ward was locked in at 1, the only thing that we knew was the Browns were taking a quarterback at 2. And that was like before 10. Like that's still when Tennessee had questions if they were going to take a quarterback or if they were going to trade out.
Generational player.
If they were going to take, a Abdul Carter or, Travis Hunter, because they've been talked about as generational players. And obviously it's clearly gone to Cam Ward.
As the NFL draft approaches, teams are weighing both talent and timing, especially those with pressing roster needs. For the San Francisco 49ers, one mock draft has taken a bold turn, spotlighting a lesser-known name who could soon become a key piece of the puzzle on defense. The latest CBS Sports mock draft by Chris Trapasso has the San Francisco 49ers focusing on the defensive side of the ball in the first round. That shouldn't come as much of a surprise, given the team lost several key contributors this offseason, including pass rusher Leonard Floyd, whose 8.5 sacks ranked second on the team behind Nick Bosa's 9. Trapasso took a different approach in his latest mock draft. Rather than predicting what teams will do, he played the role of general manager for each team, making selections based on what he would do. For the 49ers at number 11 overall, Trapasso selected Marshall defensive end Mike Green. There's ironically a fair amount of Leonard Floyd to Green's game. He's a taller outside speed rusher with the ability to flatten to the quarterback, Trapasso wrote. Perfect running mate next to Nick Bosa. With the 49ers, pass rush needing reinforcements, Green, 6'3", 251, could be a strong fit. He led the nation with 17 sacks in 2024, adding 84 tackles, 23 for loss, 2 passes defensed, and 3 forced fumbles, per Sports Reference. He could be considered a potential long-term complement to Bosa on the edge. Green also earned a stellar 92.4 defensive grade from Pro Football Focus, the highest among all FBS defenders. He ranked second among edge rushers with a 90.2 run defense grade and tied for sixth with a 91.4 pass rush grade. However, Green's draft process hasn't been without controversy. During the NFL Scouting Combine, he addressed allegations of sexual assault stemming from his time at Virginia, before his transfer to Marshall in 2023. There's accusations out there. I've never been questioned, Green said, via The Athletic. I've never been asked. Nobody ever asked me a question about what happened before I departed from Virginia. It was just accusations that caused me to leave. When asked to clarify whether he was denying the allegations, Green responded, correct. Once again, I've done nothing wrong. Over his collegiate career, Green totaled 131 tackles, 33 for loss, 22.5 sacks, 2 passes defensed, and 4 forced fumbles. When production meets potential and controversy, decision-makers are forced to look beyond the stat sheet. Whether the 49ers would take that gamble remains to be seen, but the choice could say a lot about the direction they're ready to take.